Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO, Game Pass, Crunchyroll, Peacock, Spotify, Patreon, Uplay, Verve, Taco Bell.
This is getting completely out of hand.
Subscription services are the newest problem of the 21st century. With the growing digital age and rise in social marketing, everybody wants to get rich and everybody has some sort of product they want to sell to be able to make a quick buck.
Alright, I just got my subscription to Hammers Monthly.
Bring in the subscription service model. If you pay us a certain amount of money each month, we'll give you access to our world-class, definitely not a half-scam service with no hidden fees and no strings attached. And subscription services on paper are not a bad idea. If I'm really into a specific piece of media or really like a specific product being offered, it can be worth it to pay a monthly fee to have some company's leftover garbage show up at your door.
Guys, it's finally here!
But the problem with subscription services that I and many others have started to find, there's so goddamn many of them. Every TV platform, every game studio, every music platform has a subscription service. There's like 100 different subscription boxes. You can pay $10 a month at a gas station to eat French fries.
I'm wasting money and years on my life.
Which led me down a rabbit hole this weekend, discovering a whole new world of subscription services that I didn't even know existed. For example, did you know that you can pay a monthly fee to have people yell at you over the internet? They also do porn. There's a subscription service for everything. If a company can get away with selling it to you once, they're gonna try to get away with selling it to you on a monthly basis. I just picked up my free daily drink from Panera. Drink me. Thank you. So, what else does anybody do with a small itch to bitch, too much time on their hands, and an eagerness to discuss subscription services?
I made a tier list. I know, it's exciting.
Alright, so since we're discussing subscription services, let's just get the big one out of the way. Hard to believe, but Netflix didn't actually start out as a streaming service. You would pay a monthly fee and you'd actually have the movie shipped directly to your house. It was a ship-to-home rental service until technology caught up and now you can watch everything while streaming. I don't have a problem with Netflix as a service. I mean, it's fine, it's a little bit pricier, but I do appreciate that it doesn't have commercials in it, so that's one thing it's got going for it. Hopefully that doesn't change anytime soon. If I have to credit Netflix on one thing though, its original series are usually very good. When Netflix decides to push a series, there's usually a good reason why it skyrockets in popularity. The only reason I really have Netflix is because people use it on my account. Thanks, Mom. And I don't really have any other way to see one of my favorite TV shows of all time because, yes, I watch anime. I don't care if you judge me.
You're judging me, aren't you?
We're gonna just put this in B tier for now. Now, the thing about Netflix and other streaming services is if a show gets taken off, it's not coming back. It's being acquired by another streaming service and it's gonna be traded like playing cards with a lineup changing every couple of months. And that is where Disney Plus shines the brightest. No, I'm not here to talk about the company itself. I've heard the stories. But Disney Plus, I'd argue that they're the most consistent of the streaming services. The service has nearly 95% of Disney's catalog, and trust me, like many others, I too am patiently waiting for them to drop the Star Wars Life Day Christmas special. But you can expect that if Disney has something that you want to watch, it's gonna be on there, or at least coming soon. Now, they might not have the diversity that other companies have. You're not gonna see certain things anywhere on Disney Plus.
Like the word
But what you see is what you get. If you're into superheroes, space battles, and princesses, three of my favorite things, it's honestly a nice platform. A tier. Now, for our next streaming platform, Crunchyroll is pretty much the streaming service that I use most often. You used to have two different streaming services. Funimation was for your dubs, and Crunchyroll was for your subs, but they combined in 2022 to create this mega platform that has nearly every single anime for only $7.99 a month. How could I possibly pass that up?
If it sounds too good to be true, I promise this isn't sponsored. That's not funny.
It might have an awful mobile app and a frustrating user interface that barely knows how to change languages, but S for smile.
As for the rest of streaming services, they're kind of hit or miss. They're either a cluster of TV shows that somebody somewhere was able to get access to, or their DC universe.
Like, who the hell thought this was a good idea? I mean, I get that DC has its fans, but is DC's library that expansive that they need an entire streaming service all to themselves? Also, who came up with the name DC Universe? You couldn't have come up with something that wasn't the exact same name as the online role-playing game that you also own? D for discontinued. All of the other platforms, though, they just provide variety content. The problem is, I don't know what any of these services offer without looking into the catalog. Hulu, Paramount, Showtime, Peacock, like, what the hell is Peacock? And what does it even have? Oh shit, that's not that bad. Hold on a second.
And that's the problem with streaming services. You have 20 different companies fighting to have the rights to every single program ever made. Then when it comes down to it, it turns into this constant shuffle for the consumer to find what they want. And that's not what streaming was intended for. Streaming was intended to be a cheap alternative to the $100 cable package, so you weren't paying all this extra money for 4 to 5 channels that you're barely even watching in the first place. Now, I'm still spending the $100 a month to have 9 different programs that have everything that I want to watch, but it's not in one convenient location like cable was. Anyway, here's my password to all my subscription services. Go wild.
But movies and television aren't the only types of entertainment. If you thought this was just about streaming services, then do you even know me? This is my bread and butter. This is bread and butter. And this is Nintendo Switch Online. No, I'm not gonna go ahead and keep beating an already dead horse. We all know what it's like when you open a brand new Nintendo game and wanna go online. Mobile voice chat, slow lobbies, laggy servers, and just a lack of overall support. If I were to rank Nintendo Switch Online when it first released, this is easily the worst of the big 3. But recently, Nintendo has been expanding their service model, and as far as content goes, they've really been stepping up their game. For $20 a month, you get a selection of NES and SNES games, plus you get Pac-Man 99. Completely worth it. But if you upgrade, you do get the Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis classics, and you're also getting certain downloadable DLC, like the Happy Home Paradise update, Mario Kart Booster Course, and the Octoling expansion. And that's honestly really nice. But let's be honest, for $50 a year, that's kind of a ripoff. But if you get 8 of your friends together, it's only $80 a year. That's $10 a person, which is cheaper than any of the other expansion passes. We'll put this in the it's good now, but Nintendo will eventually find a way to fuck this up at some point here. Now, the other 2 titans, they have a much larger catalog when it comes to deals. PlayStation Plus is the one I'm most familiar with. You pay $60 and what do you get? Why are we still paying to play online? I mean, I understand that 48 million people are subscribed to PS Plus, which means, math. But like, come on. It just doesn't feel right. All 3 companies are guilty of having consumers pay for online, but PlayStation Plus does have free games every month, but it's kind of a toss-up what you're gonna get. One month you're getting one of Sony's year-old masterpieces that are just enticing people to join the subscription service. And then the next month you're getting Tennis World Tour 2. Now, if you want a good PlayStation experience, you have to get the PlayStation Plus Extra. For $100 a year, you can play from a selection of PS4 and PS5 games and stream them to your consoles. And if you pay $120, then you can play PS2, PlayStation, and PSP games and stream the games on PC. Why does there have to be so many tiers for subscription services? If it were up to me, I would just have 1 tier for playing online,
Even though I wouldn't.
and 1 tier for playing the free monthly games and retro titles, because my brain just can't handle counting to 3. I'm also not a big fan of streaming games. I am perfectly comfortable with downloading a retro title to my console so I don't have to worry about having a stable internet connection, putting it in B tier for better half Persona and the rest of the series, because if not, I'm just not buying it. Now, Xbox Game Pass is the Netflix of gaming, primarily because I don't frequently think about canceling this one.
It's also probably because I don't have it.
The selection of games here is just too good to be true. Over 300 games here that are genuinely high quality on console and PC. I've got to respect the business model. Xbox is advertising the same games that are available for retail price day 1, included with a subscription to Xbox Game Pass. Now, it is one of the most expensive services, being $15 a month if you want to be able to play these games on console and PC, but it is very well worth it if you want to play a ton of games and enjoy experiencing brand new titles day 1 without having to spend $60 just to do so. A tier.
But what if you're like me and a multi-platform gamer? What if you play PlayStation, Switch, and PC? But more importantly, what if you hate yourself?
Ubisoft Plus. Get early access to betas, free-to-play weekends, DLC, and even free trials for new games. Man, I just can't wait to play Just Dance 2023. I'm sure it's a completely different experience from Just Dance 2014. Again, if you have the games to do it, fine, make a subscription service. But Ubisoft does not have the library of games to back a $15 price point, especially since half of those games they're already charging that much for are already available on Game Pass. Ubisoft, respectfully, what the f are you doing? U tier for you better not buy this. You could always get Prime Gaming, where you can get free in-game loot alongside free games like Dead Space 2 and The Curse of Monkey Island. Like, come on, of all the games you could bank on your platform, these are the titles you're gonna go with? 2 games that weren't even released in the last decade? To be fair, this comes with a free Amazon account, meaning you get Curse of Monkey Island, a free Twitch Prime, and access to Prime Video. But come on, nobody's getting Prime Gaming for that one League of Legends skin. They're getting Amazon Prime so they can get paper towels shipped to their house in 2 days. We're just gonna put this in the Amazon tier. EA Play! You can play FIFA 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and it already comes free with a subscription to Game Pass Ultimate. Why on earth would anybody buy this?
EA Sports.
It fucking sucks.
And these subscription services are everywhere. Every single company thinks that their product is God's greatest gift to man, when in reality, it's just a collection of goods and the occasional diamond in the rough. It's a yard sale where, yeah, you found a copy of Halo 3, that's great, but you also didn't take into consideration that now you have 10 different copies of Connect Adventures that you sure as hell didn't ask for. And even video games themselves are getting into this. Taiko no Tatsujin is offering a subscription service in the form of a song pass, so you don't have to individually buy each song. And it might sound like I'm bitching, because I am, but Activision. You want to start a subscription service pass for Rock Band so that I don't have to pay $1.99 for every song in the game? I'm gonna just leave that right there, you know, that's a wine voucher. And it's not just video games and television. It is 100 other different subscription services that have no place even being there. This needs to stop!
Why would I pay $1.79 to get a meal that tastes like last month's dinner that isn't even gonna be the correct order in the first place? Why don't I just pay $10 a month so I can have a complimentary taco every single day to still not get the correct taco I ordered? T for terrible. Dash Pass. Pay far cheaper for delivery services so that you can get that McChicken you ordered for $12 instead of $16. D for damn it, I asked them multiple times for no lettuce, now I gotta order Taco Bell. Spotify. Remove advertisements if you sign up for an account, and there's a family plan, and you get discounts if you're a student. I like this. Spotify, please pay your artists more. I'm putting this one in the recycling bin. Loot Crate. They say one man's junk is another man's treasure, and when items get discontinued and you don't have the space in a warehouse to put them, let's just force them on consumers.
All right, guys, we're doing an unboxing of Budget Box Monthly. So today it looks like we've got a pair of shoe. It looks like the sole is not currently working on that, so we'll put that over to the side. It's pretty cool. We've got a USB cable. Looks like it's used, but it does come with a charging port. Looks like they're really upping their game here. I've got a subscription to Hammers Monthly. That's common with the Budget Box, and a flashlight that I assume doesn't have any batteries in it because it's a Budget Box.
Putting this in the tried it once, never again tier. Patreon! Now, personally, I don't have anything against Patreon. I think it's a great way to support content creators, but I always see creators having these incentives, like if you give $1, you can have access to a private Discord, $10, I'll have you help contribute ideas, and I admire the creativity and don't think there's anything wrong with a model like that, but personally, I feel like at some point, I feel like somebody's paying for my presence. You are paying to have a relationship with a creator. And I know that's clearly not the case, but I just don't want to foster that kind of environment. My Discord, my DMs are always open as a personal preference. And I think I'm done with a fourth wall break here, so I'm putting it in the Wendy's 4 for 4 tier.
And there are literally hundreds more subscription services that I can find. You ever heard of prescription drugs? It's a monthly service. At the end of the day, subscription services are just a ploy for you to continuously spend money on a monthly basis, with the end goal for you to completely forget that you're doing so until 6 months later when it's too late. Netflix started as a cheap alternative to cable, and now that everyone is jumping on the subscription service model, there's 100 different services for every small thing. We've basically just reinvented the wheel, except that wheel is currently barreling down the highway at $100 per hour while Stranger Things is playing in the background. Though I'm not against all subscription services, I do believe that there are subscription services out there that are worth your money, and I would like to talk about them. For example,
Today's video is sponsored by
me. Go cancel your subscription services.
Thank you. What? What did it do?
Nothing. The lid is on top of your car.